Now I want you to see how I take the towel off when we talk about draping. It's very simple, top and bottom, and there it is. Very quick, very simple. A lot of people make a lot of fuss when it comes to just removing the towel to expose the limb that you're going to massage on. As you see, I grab at the bottom, grab at the top, and it's very quick, simple, and then start to apply the oil for the legs. So we've done the feet, and now you can see, we talked about before, you can see my arms are pretty much stiff, and I'm transferring my weight from the front leg when I go up there, then bring it back onto the back leg. These are general strokes. You start off, you get to apply the oil, and we're going to use the most of our pressure when we start to use our forearms. I'm just doing thumb circles around the ankle there, and then to start to do some kneading through the calves. Now the very first stroke, the effleurage stroke, or the general stroke, when after applying the oil, you want to start off fairly light, not too light of course, but fairly light, and then you just lean your body weight onto your hands again. And even with the general stroke and like effleurage, you still want to have a good pressure. You don't want to have what I call a skin polish. No one likes a massage that's way too light. So you can see again, now I'm transferring my weight from my right to my left side. The shoulders are down. Work my way through it. Now hand over hand. You see, I just bring in the forearm, distracting with the hand. See, it slides in underneath there, comes on the inside of the ankle, and then up it goes. Not too hard for the first one, but you still want to have a good depth. This is where we're going to apply the pressure in the massage sequence. So even though I said we have good strength with the effleurage, general strokes, the kneading, and we use our body weight, everything we talked about, you can see my arms forward there at 45 degrees. As I push through, just using my legs to power through the motion. My body weight is leaning over the person. So you see my head's right over the top of the leg, so it's all going right down through that arm bone. Now I'm going to show you two different techniques. On this you can see my right hand is on my left forearm there, on the wrist there, to add control. The hand, as you can see, is soft. There's no tension through the fingers on the left arm. I'm using the soft part of the forearm. And you can see I've slowed it right down here as we start to work deeper. So we're slowing it down, work deeper and deeper. So just leaning down onto that. This feels fantastic for a client. In your massage, you can see it should always feel pretty much like one stroke. Now I'm going to work the IT band. See that right hand there, and again you can see my arm there, it's still pretty much locked in. I'm still using all my weight transference. Shoulders are down. Going back to the general stroke. Now because we've already done quite a lot of massage, these general strokes, you can really see me leaning onto that client. There's nothing wishy-washy about these strokes. There's those thumb circles, finger circles around the ankle there, Achilles tendon. And look at that, just put the towel on very, very simply. Butterfly stroke to finish the limb. And then some double thumbs, thumb presses, and the thumbs are side by side as we go down the foot and onto the other leg. You see that very simple butterfly stroke along the leg. And you should always have contact with your client, so you don't want to leave the limb. You see, it's always contact when you're always touching the client. You don't want to leave the client at all. So here's the other leg. You see the general stroke. And we're working our way through, starting to put more pressure on now. You do about 6 or 7 repetitions. Each leg should take around about 5 to 6 minutes. Once again, you can see the kneading. My body weight, once again, it's over the top there, leaning down onto the limb. If the person's body wasn't there, my hands would fall onto the table. That's because all my weight is directly on top of that limb from my upper body. This stroke's really common when they're doing kneading for massage therapists to lift their shoulders up. It's a really bad thing to do. It will leave with sore shoulders. So make sure always your shoulders are down. Okay, now have a look when I slide that elbow in, the forearm in. Distract the left arm and in it comes. So the person really doesn't expect a forearm to come in. They're distracted by the other stroke. The first one's pretty general. Work up the whole length of the limb. Not too hard over the knee, of course. You want to keep soft over the knee. I generally use my pressure about 30% on the calf, 70% onto the back of the thigh to the hamstrings, and then light over the knee. When you cross over the knee, nice and light. So you'll see there, we're just working deeper levels as we soften up the muscles. You can go deeper into there and slow it down through the hamstrings, up across the hip. Now you can see I've done this to show you I don't have my other hand on the wrist for control. You can do it just like this. My left hand is now just leaning on the table for support, and I'm just using the right arm without the wrist held by the left. So there are two different techniques you can do with your forearm. I'm using the soft part of the forearm there for the most of that. Once again, working up through the IT band. Finish the stroke, just some general strokes here, finish off the leg. You'll also note when I apply the oil, I put it into my hand and not directly onto the body. So put the oil there, go just flick that towel on from the bottom there, nice little butterfly stroke to finish the limb, and some more work on the feet. So once again, we've got double thumbs, and then both feet at the same time.